Nerd Morning, everyone. My name is Jeremy Miller, and you're watching the Nerd Morning Show. Today on the Nerd Morning Show, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the effects that the coronavirus has had on the comic book industry. Obviously, the coronavirus is a big pandemic. It's causing a lot of people to be sick, several people to die. It's causing economic downturn, and it's certainly a time of fear. It's had lots of ramifications on lots of different industries, but with the Nerd Morning Show, I have been focusing on some of the economic ramifications that it's had inside of the comic book world. There's two major things that I think need to get brought up and talked about. First off, that Free Comic Book Day, which happens every first Saturday in May, is postponed. So if you've been waiting and planning and hoping for that as I have, it is being postponed. It'll likely happen in the summer, but that's still to be determined as the situation continues to unfold. Also, Dimond is no longer accepting shipments from publishers. So Dimond is the company that distributes from the publishers like Marvel, DC, and gets those to the hands of the comic book owners to get out to put up in their stores. So these store owners get their books from Dimond, and if Dimond's not shipping, we do not get any new comics. And they are not accepting the shipments from the publishers, and they're not going to be sending things out, and that's starting today, which is March 25th. So until the crisis is over, we may not be getting any new comics into the local shops. So I think that's a really big thing. That's going to have pretty dramatic effects on the local comic book shops, because a lot of stores depend on those weekly comic books coming into their store and having that new product. So I think, what are things that you can do? Well, if you are in a situation health-wise that their local comic book store is open, that you're in a safe situation, that if you're able to go and support your local comic book shops, that is going to be an amazing benefit for them to be able to keep their stores open and for the industry at large. Now, if you're not in a situation that is going to be healthy or safe, obviously you need to stay home. But you might be able to call into your stores and say, hey, I want to add this, and this in a comic book hold. Open a new one if you don't have one, or to expand that out if you're looking forward to comic books that are going to be coming out in the near future. That way, when comic book shipments are starting to come in, that you'll be able to get those books and support those local stores. Also, I should note that comic books are going to be being released digitally on their release day, and that's a viable option for you. I think that that's a great option. I personally like the physical book. It's just something that I don't know, I really love. And so I don't really go the digital route too often, and I'm probably going to be waiting on most of my titles for the physical copy, and I'm not going to be someone to say this is the way to do it or this is the way to do it. Really, I think it's up to you, but supporting comics and supporting local shops are definitely important. And overall, with this, it's a time maybe we have to be a little bit patient. Comics are going to continue. The industry is going to be able to get through all of this, and we're going to be fine. This is maybe a great opportunity to be rereading over some of the books that you have already, and also times to really be able to look for what's coming in the future on different websites or things like that, that we're going to be able to tell you these are things you want to jump in on moving forward. I hope that this information was helpful for you guys. I feel like these are pretty big things to be notified of, and I wanted to be able to get the word out on them. And so I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, be sure to give me a like, as well as be sure to follow and subscribe to me on my various platforms on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitter. You can find me at Nerd Morning on each of those. So I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll check in with you guys on our next video.